Okay, so it looks like we have things kicked off. We're waiting on Chris. He's refreshing his beverage. We've got Andy Fox versus Joe Massara for King of the Hill, and Andy Haas and Paul Luna for the third and fourth place match. Paul's picking his music of choice.
Andy Kuhlman here, Director of Esports for IT. I'm going to join you for just a moment while we wait for Gino. Keep you company. A couple guys who've had some long days here, huh? Oh, nope, Gino's back already. So it was nice seeing you. I appreciate the time on the mic, and we'll catch you next time.
I'll see you on the boat. You must be a VIP up there at the service counter.
Say it again?
You must be a VIP at the service counter.
They like me here. They like me here. I wonder why. I say of all the 10 staffers I saw here this weekend, I guarantee you one of them is making a down payment on a car on Monday or Tuesday for sure.
Oh yeah, I think. Well, no, they're splitting tips actually.
I understand that, but I think they've probably done pretty well.
No, they have. The owner said to me after Thursday, "Is like, how do we get a tournament every weekend?" So, but I think now maybe he's a little worn out. He's like, well, what time do you need to be in the bar tomorrow to start picking up machines? He asked Russ, and Russ said 9 o'clock, and you could see the look of pain on the owner's face. But it's always a learning experience for a new location. The first event, you can, like I've said this a million times, and other people have too. You can, tell them over and over again. Golden Tee players are going to drink and support a bar more than they never experienced. But until they experience it, they're not going to believe it.
Probably bigger than their normal business, right?
Way bigger. I posted on Facebook that he told me Thursday was the busiest night they've ever had in the bar, ever. So, that's the location where we're at. But it's great. The guys worked hard. The staff's worked hard. We're still all friendly.
This is, I would have to say, this has set a good base for us. This is a good foundation for us to maybe be here for several more tournaments, right?
I don't like to switch locations. It's not really what we wanted to do.
It's more work for you, right?
Well, it's more work. It's hard to get a location. It's not so easy. Everybody says, well, have a tournament here, have a tournament there, but it's not as easy as it sounds. There's a lot that goes into it, and there's a lot that's asked for a location to host an event that a lot of businesses, frankly, don't want to do. And, one of it is size. Now we need a location that we need to put 20, 30, 40 machines in.
Mm-hmm.
What locations are we going to pick to do that?
There's less than 1% in America that have them, right?
Right. Most bars are set up with, permanent booths and tables, and they're not really set up for big open spaces where you can put machines in. And
you can't fit 200 people into my bar that I go to right now, my home bar. You can't fit 200 people in there.
No, we couldn't put 200 people into Jake's. That was a great host for us for many years.
Jake's would have had to make some business decisions about that place.
There's no way. There's even business decisions. We couldn't fit 39 machines in that building.
You're absolutely correct.
There wasn't the physical room.
What was the maximum we ever had there?
Machine-wise?
Yeah.
21 maybe.
All right. I almost went with 25. 21? All right. You guys were carrying, I think, what 15 at the time, 16?
15, and they might have had 6, so something like that. Yeah. It was, and it was tight. Both rooms were tight, and
as we're watching Joe Massara break out the fools, and this is one of the great things about watching Joe Massara play Golden Tee, the repertoire of shots that he has. That's what makes him lethal. He has options all over the place to get himself close to the hole. Andy Haas is going to play a very similar shot. Andy Fox is going to play a very similar shot. Ooh, and just crawls up right up that hill. King of the Hill happening on Machine 2. Machine number 1, 2008, 2016 world champion, 27-time tournament winner, Andy Haas.
So let's talk about this, Chris. It's been the winner's unwritten rule for many years. To buy a round of shots after they win a tournament, and that was great when it was 40, 50, 60, maybe 70 players. Now what do you think about?
That's
maybe
an interesting
putting
thing.
that to rest.
I remember several things of in the early 2010s were and to credit Stenmark, he gave me a whole philosophy on this, and the reason why he did it. All right, because he was playing thousands of games a month, he was winning a lot of tournaments, and that was kind of his gift back. This is me giving back to these guys that, look, I'm doing really well at this, and just I appreciate you guys coming around because I'm winning a lot, and that's why he thought he would buy shots.
But he wasn't the first to do it.
No. It's like I said, it's more of just a celebratory thing for the tournament. I think that's what the genuine theme of that is. We foot the bill to the winner of the tournament because he gets paid the most. I'm not the guy to tell you, hey, who am I to judge great putt by Andy Haas? Who am I to judge what you do with your money because it's your money? That's my thing.
Right. But now when you're talking about, buying 100, 150, I don't think we're ever going to have, 200 people. I don't think we're going to have 200 people at the end standing in the building. But
at that point, you might as well finish second.
It's a good chunk of change, right?
Yeah, you might as well finish second almost. I mean, it's maybe
not
that much.
It's something I think about when I do the prize pool and I figure out, what first and second's going to pay. But
little to the right for Andy Fox, King of the Hill. Andy Fox going for his third Top Gun Player of the Year title. Number 3, he would be the most of all time. 8 times a tournament winner on your tour. I will commonly call Andy Fox, Steve, the most underrated player that you have on your tour. Compared to what he's accomplished, compared to what the ilk of where we hold Luna, the Stenmarks, the Haas's of the world, Andy Fox probably may not get enough credit for what he's accomplished on your tour.
I'd have to agree with that. He does do well. I mean, he's won the Florida event is the one that he's really pounded.
That's the comfortable one for him.
That's definitely the comfortable one for him, and he's done really well there.
So when do we kick off 2022 tournament season? All right, just a little bit of the jukebox starts playing in the bar, man, and once that starts happening, we have to make sure we have our legalities intact. I mean, we play outside music that can kind of hurt our stream and help our.
Andy Haas just hold out,
and Andy Haas doing what Andy Haas does and holding out. That's a hole in one. Is he up 3 now? Yeah, that would be almost be up 3. This is I've noticed this for years, Steve. When it comes to him, I think the best example, whether you remember this or not,
he gets in the zone and you can't stop it.
That 2016 World Championship where we were in that convention center,
brutal. He just on fire.
One of the greatest showcases of Golden Tee we
Brutal's
had seen.
probably the right word. It was unbelievable. He got it to where, I mean, he was just.
He still talks about that.
He was honed in.
There was 3 holes on a 32 pace of Winding Pines, and if you know Winding Pines, 32 is typically not a number that exists in that course. So one of the great showcases of Golden Tee, I remember. I'll remember that for the rest of my life, Steve.
Well, also too, especially in, where it was. It was Worlds.
Oh yeah.
So I mean, he did that when. Everything was on the line.
And we're going back to the Westgate. I've now called it the house that Andy Haas has built. $30,000, 2 world championships, all won inside that building. It's he's super excited to get back there. I know that he is.
I'm just super excited just to have a tournament in Vegas. It's great.
I'm happy to get back to our world championship for sure.
If you could cherry pick a location, maybe some people wouldn't pick it, but just be happy that we're having it.
The fact that we're keeping it going is the most important thing to me.
I mean, Andy Haas was the de facto world champion for 9 years.
Yeah.
The reason why is because they didn't have a tournament for 9 years. So
yeah.
Let's just all be happy that there's a tournament. It's a World's tournament. It's going to be great.
And Fox just went in the water.
We've got now much more to it. That World tournament was streamed by me and Russ on a laptop. It's going to be, the production is going to be way better, obviously.
For sure.
It's all going to be great.
That was a cozy event, that 2016 World Championship. I'll remember it fondly. It took me a lot.
It was cozy.
It took me a lot to be a part of that. It took a lot out of me just to be a part of that tournament. But I'll always look back and think of it fondly, just for bringing it back, something that was really important to me, for us to have a world championship or something, an entity like us that deserves a world championship. And that 2016 year, yeah, that was awesome. I think Zach and I told us that we need to make a 30 for 30 out of that world championship. Haas up 3, 22 after 12. He's staring 33 pace right in the eye right now.
Yeah, all the information for payouts for the event have been posted on the event in Facebook, and then if you want to follow the brackets along, you go to Point Leaders on the PEGT Tour website, and you can see the brackets for the Top Gun and Little Gun. Also the brackets. Also, if you look under tournaments, then 2021, then Dallas, and then main event and purple bracket around there, and the challenge events that we posted, the pink and the copper brackets are also posted on Facebook. Challenge.
Ricky Bobby 03330 wants to know when Steve Sobel's next Florida trip is happening.
Well, the next Florida trip's not going to happen until April 28th through May 2nd, when we will be down in St. Cloud, Florida, for the Florida Open.
So, Brad Stewart, if you want to buy dinner, that's your opportunity.
That's your opportunity.
It may involve Russ and Paige. You might have to buy their dinner, too.
Yep.
Though.
We can find a real nice seafood place to go out to Saturday night.
The one Chepnik that was trying to tell us about this past year that we couldn't go to.
Me and Paige actually went Sunday, and it was awesome. It was killer. So that'd be a good one to go to. And it's Florida, so you can wear what you want in there. You don't have to get dressed up. There are people that are dressed up, but you can also go in as you are. And but yeah, personally, I don't have any Florida trips planned. I got too much other stuff going on.
Yeah. Obviously, the Florida tournament being your personal favorite, of course.
Yeah, I always say I shouldn't say that, but it is.
Well,
Florida's my favorite.
You have an established relationship there, as JoJo's up 2 going into 13 of Trop, and Andy Haas is up 3 going into 15 of Montes of Bio, Steve. I understand. Yeah, I mean, it may not be conducive to, if another tournament owner's listening to, might be your favorite tournament, but you have an established business with Chris and Sidelines and all their business. I mean, they've been really
I have a different type of relationship with them than some of the other owners.
Mm-hmm.
The other owners want to they're all great to us. There are other owners that give us more money for the players, which is great. So I mean, I feel like right now we have 6 solid owners for our tournaments. I mean, they're all great.
I think this while we have with Haas being upstrokes and Fox, I think this would be a good time and tell people about Chris and his seafood recommendations in Florida.
Oh yeah, that was one of the killer ones when. So we started out with him in a suburb of Orlando called Altamont Springs, and we moved out of there, and then he had a location on I Drive, which is the strip, by Disney World and all that. International Drive in Orlando. And me and Russ asked him, well, what's a good seafood restaurant around here? We want to get some good seafood, because obviously coming from St. Louis, any seafood we get has been frozen, and it's okay, but it surely tastes different when it comes, closer straight out of the ocean. And he ponders for a long time, thinking, and then he comes back to us like 10 minutes later, and he goes, well, there's a Red Lobster like 2 blocks down the street. And I said, no, I want to go to like Longino's House of Seafood. I don't want to go to Red Lobster, a chain that I can go to in, no offense, in Des Moines, Iowa.
Maybe the story was told differently, but I actually thought he actually gave you like semi-directions, and they're like, if you get off this highway, there's a Red Lobster right there.
Yeah.
No, I'm not coming here for Red Lobster. On that last hole, Massara did not make the island, did lose his 2-stroke lead. We have a tie match.
Oh.
In the Massara-Fox match now.
You're distracting me.
Oh, my bad. You can't gauge when those are going to happen.
Oh, and then he gets the right
one.
Pack. And
Joe Massara with a shot.
Don't dog the boy. And Andy's still up 3 going into 18 here. So
with a very, very, very simple look into 18 for him. Looking for tournament.
Paul yells out water.
I heard that. Looking for 28 tournament wins. Paul Luna, considering the year he's had, probably not what he was looking for.
So right now, I know there's, this is our Top Gun winner, but, if you also have the Associated Press Player of the Year, if Andy Haas wins our Top Gun event, would you call him Player of the Year?
Yeah, I've always said that we should have an Associated Press style Player of the Year. I mean, we have a Player of the Year tournament. It doesn't actually determine our Player of the Year.
Correct.
Our tournament, we have a Top Gun Player of the Year tournament. But yeah, no, I always thought that if we could find 20 solid, distinguished Golden Tee voters, that we could make an AP Player of the Year. I need those people to be credible, though. Yeah, I wish you'd have made it too, Daryl Rayner. I don't know if they're still watching, but shout out to my Callaways guys. You guys are great. I appreciate you guys chiming in with me today.
I missed them.
Yeah. They were texting me through the round. Apparently,
I need to get Bill Muse, and he can bring his brother.
Yeah.
Mike. I mean, we like Mike too.
Yeah.
We have a place in St. Louis called Fast Eddie's that Bill is familiar with. And I keep telling him, come to St. Louis tournament, and we will spend a day at Fast Eddie's.
Ooh, that was just a little outside. Medium T, though, brings it back up. Fast Eddie's, that's the place that, they zoned their bar off for themselves, right? I mean, they bought the highway. Is that what I remember hearing? Matt Van Hoosier told me this story.
Well, they made smoking in bars illegal in Illinois, which is right across the river from St. Louis, where this bar is. And so the city gave them the street so they could put a enclosed patio in, which would be smoking. And this patio is probably bigger than this location we have here.
Really?
Oh, that's how big this patio is. Unbelievable. And this place was famous for $1 hamburgers and 20-cent peony shrimp and
what a chip!
What a chip!
I mean, staring water right in the eye, and he just didn't blink. Great chip by Joe Massara.
Props from Fox.
1 stroke advantage heading into 16. Could this be the day? I mean, Joe Massara puts it all together. We have a lot of second places. I know how important Joe's been to everybody up in the world of power vending in St. Louis, and I think we've kind of been waiting for that moment. When he pulls it through.
He wasn't this type of player when he first started coming around. One of the earlier, Top Gun, we called it Player of the Year back then, events that was at Jake's. He was in the final 32, but he was far from being any of the favorites. He's created his game. People start playing the game and they think they can't compete, but there's plenty of players that have come along that compete. C.J. Wengler. I mean, he's come out of nowhere.
He's in the right now. I mean, he's in the conversation. I'm this next year's 2022. I'm ready for CJ to take that next step.
Right. I mean,
this has got to be this year. I think for him. I'm ready for him.
But I mean, there's plenty of players that Barack had a little mini run, and I guess he's decided not to play Golden Tee anymore.
Just not that interested in it anymore, I guess.
Right. I lose track. I didn't realize that Shane Marks has only been around since 2017. He's a main bracket mainstay at most of our events. There's a lot of players that have come into the game recently that have put their mark on the game. It's it might look difficult, but I don't think it's as hard as people make it seem.
Is Joe the best player haven't won one yet? Is he the guy? I guess GVK is the other conversation. But
Greg Kinsler has never won one.
That's all right. All right.
So I would put him and Joe probably in the same. Greg has more of the titles in his in his pocket overall, but I would say probably those two.
Like the respective 1-stroke lead going into 18. Let's see what kind of look we get. And this will be a very safe look for both of these guys, but Andy Fox is probably going to be a little bit more aggressive. Tough morning for Joe, going 1-2 in the Dallas Holiday Classic. Looking for redemption right now. Lands himself with a very makeable putt. This is must ace for Andy Fox.
Yeah, he's got to hole it or it's over.
Had a few walk-offs today. Wouldn't mind seeing another one.
We had a few?
On other machines that weren't being streamed, yes.
Oh, okay. Because that one I saw was first one I remember in a long time.
Yeah.
By Gomez. That was the first one I remember.
There was one when you first
met.
Mark's
another player, right? I mean.
Yeah, Gomez. No, Gomez has all the potential in the world.
Right?
Sure.
I mean, there's Clint.
And just around the hole. And, yeah, well, Clint's one. I mean.
Clint is one, but I'm saying that there's players that, they weren't the top echelon players, 5+ years ago.
No. I remember when you were talking about Clint as an up-and-comer. JoJo, King of the Hill for the Player of the Year. As Andy Haas is getting ready to set up his White Claws next to the machine.